Can matter change its state? So, this is the question that we are going to address in this video. But before we do that, let's just quickly revise the different states of matter and their properties. So, the four states of matter are solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. The fourth state, which is plasma, we are not going to learn about it right now. And for the time being, we are going to focus on the first three states of matter and go through their properties. So let's quickly revise them one by one. So in solids, all the particles are very tightly packed together and they have a very high interparticle force that keeps them together, that binds them together. And because of this reason, solids are very strong. They have a definite shape. They have distinct boundaries, like a country or a state has a distinct they have distinct boundaries. Likewise, the solids also have a distinct boundaries. And again, because they are so all the particles are so tightly packed, the solids also have a fixed volume. Also, they have no compressibility or near negligible compressibility, as the particles are already so tightly packed together. Even if we apply some pressure on it or even more pressure on it, it doesn't compress, it usually breaks. Few of the examples of solids are plastic, which is used to make toys, bottles, and fan, which is made out of a metal, the fan that you use in your summers. The second state is liquids. So in liquids, the particles are not so tightly packed together and they have some distance between them. Because of this reason, they do not have a fixed shape and are very free flowing in nature. They take the shape of the container in which they are poured in. So suppose the water which is in your bottle, water is a liquid. So if it's in your bottle and you pour the same water in a glass, it takes the shape of the glass. So liquids, they take the shape of the container in which they are kept in. They also have a fixed volume. Even though they are free flowing in nature and they take the shape of the container, but they still have a fixed volume, as you would have observed in any case of a liquid which you find in your day to day life. The next property of liquids is that they are somewhat compressible, they have some compressibility. This is because of the fact that the particles which make the liquids have some distance in between them. So when we put pressure on liquids, the particles which make the liquid, they start coming close to each other and thereby showing us that liquids are compressible. Few of the examples of liquids are petrol, milk, which you should drink every day, and blood, which runs through our body and provides oxygen to all parts of the body. The third state is the gaseous state. This is the like gases are the most unorganized state. Their particles are the least tightly packed, and because they have very less attraction, they move in random directions. Because of this fact only, they don't have a fixed shape. They don't even have a fixed volume. And because the particles are so far apart, they are the most compressible of all the three states. They are very highly compressible. As the particles are so far apart, so when we put pressure on them, all the particles start coming together. An example where gas is in a compressed form is LPG, the liquefied petroleum gas. It is the same gas which is used for cooking. But here's the question. The main question here that we are going to address is, can matter change its state? Or in other words, can they transform from one form to another? So in one word, the answer is yes, they can. But the next question that will arise in your mind is how? How is that possible? So there are basically two ways to change states of matter. So one way is to use pressure, as we saw in the case of liquefied petroleum gas. Petroleum gas is in its natural state in the room temperature, it is a gas. But we pressurize it, we put pressure on it and convert it into a liquid so that it can be filled in a cylinder, and it's easier for us to use it in our homes. Another method that is used to change the state of matter is either by providing or removing heat energy. So by doing this, we change the energy of the particles that make up the matter. We change the energy of the particles. And in this video, we are going to learn about that cycle only. How can, by providing heat energy, how can we convert a solid into a liquid, liquid into a gas, and gas? And again, gas into liquid and liquid into solid. So let's just go through the cycle. So if there is a solid and if we provide it with heat, the energy of the particles increases because, as you would have known the rule of conservation of energy, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to the another. So when we provide heat energy to a solid, that heat energy transforms into the kinetic energy of the particles. And once the kinetic energy of the particles increases, they start moving in random directions, and which thereby converting into liquid by melting. So the solid melts to form liquid. And next, if we take the same liquid and provided it with more heat energy, the kinetic energy of the particles will further increase, and the liquid will start to boil or it will evaporate eventually and convert, and we'll have a gas rather than a liquid. Now next question, if we have to convert this gas into liquid, then how is that possible? So if we take a gas, if we take the same gas and what did we do up till now? We provided with energy so that the kinetic energy of the particles changes. Now, if we suppose remove energy by cooling it down, then we can change the state again. So, if we have got gas and if we cool it, then the energy of the particles will decrease and it will condense to form liquid. If we further cool down the liquid, the energy of the particles who are making up the liquid, their energy will further decrease, and they will either solidify or freeze to form solid. So this is the cycle of matter changing its state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and back to liquid and solid. This kind of an example, which you can see in your day-to-day life, is the water cycle, which you would have already studied about. Right now, we are going to quickly see a live demonstration of how this transformation of matter occurs. Here, we are going to take the case of water and see how it changes its state.